let us discuss some properties of line integral of vector field. So what we have a parameterized curve gamma here, whose parameterization is alpha defined on closed interval AB. Okay, and we have a two vector valued functions capital F and capital G with real constants C and D. We have to simply prove here integration over gamma Cf plus dg is equal to C integration of f plus d integration of g. That means in a real integral also we do the same. If there are any constants, we take them outside. If there is addition, we take separate integration. So here also we have to prove we can do the same for line integral of a vector field. Okay, so let us start to prove it. I will start with the left hand side. Consider integration over gamma Cf plus dg. I will simply follow the definition here. Okay, parameterization of gamma is alpha closed interval AB, so limits of this integral will be a to b. Inner product of Cf plus dg, which is operating on alpha of t, alpha dash of t, dt, right? So Cf and dg will operate on that. So integration a to b, inner product C f of alpha of t, right, plus d g of alpha of t, alpha dash of t dt. So you know that capital F and capital G are functions, so those functions can operate on alpha of t, but C and D are constants. Okay, so yeah, those will be like this. See, by property of inner product we can take them separate as well as we can take constants outside. So it will be integration a to b C inner product of f of alpha of t, alpha dash of t, plus d inner product of g of alpha of t, alpha dash of t, dt. After that, I am going to use properties of real integral. Okay, see, addition is there, we can take separate integration as well as constants we can take outside. So this is equal to C will come outside integration a to b inner product f of alpha of t, alpha dash of t, dt, and here d will come outside integration a to b inner product g of alpha of t, alpha dash of t, dt. So this is equal to some space is there, so I am going to utilize it. See this c is a constant, and see this is nothing but integration of f over gamma, and plus d, this is nothing but integration of g over gamma. So in this way we proved this result. Okay, we proved this property. So after that, we are going to discuss one more property. Make a screenshot of it, then we will go further. So let us discuss this second property. In the second property, what have they done? Between AB, they have introduced one point E. So because of E, this AB is divided in two parts, AE and EB. Okay. So actually alpha is defined on this closed interval AB. So if you restrict alpha on AE, that is I will say this is parameterized called alpha 1. And if you restrict alpha on EB, that is nothing but alpha 2. That means basically alpha 1 and alpha 2 both are them are alpha. They follow the definition of alpha, but simply alpha is restricted on AE, then we get alpha 1, and if alpha is restricted on EB, then we get alpha 2. And their images will be gamma 1 and gamma 2. If you combine both curves, then obviously we will have the curve gamma. So this is a fact. Getting? And what we have to prove, integration of f over gamma, integration of f over entire gamma is equal to integration of f over this gamma 1 plus integration of f over this gamma 2. This thing we have to prove. The proof is quite simple. Okay, so I have written the given information here. So let us start with left hand side and we can easily bring right hand side. So let us start. So I am going to consider here integration of f over gamma is equal to, definition says integration a to b, since our parameterization alpha is defined on closed interval AB. Inner product f of alpha of t, alpha dash of t, dt. Okay, so you know that when we have line integral AB getting or real integral AB, and if you get any additional point between A and B, then we write integration A to E plus integration E to B. So the same property of real integral I am going to use here. So this is equal to integration A to E plus integration E to B. Okay, so integration inner product f of alpha of t, alpha dash of t dt, and here inner product f of alpha of t, alpha dash of t dt, right? So see, integration a to e plus integration e to b, but see here alpha is, we restrict alpha on interval a only, so I should write here alpha is restricted on a, here also alpha is restricted on a, but for the second integral we restrict alpha only on eb, so here alpha is restricted on eb and here alpha is also restricted on eb. Okay, so we have some space here, let us use it. So this is equal to integration a to e. I hope it is visible to you. Okay, so when alpha is restricted on a, we call it as alpha 1, and when alpha is restricted on eb, we call it as alpha 2. So let us put their values. So inner product f of alpha 1 of t, alpha 1 dash of t dt. So this is equal to integration e to b inner product f of alpha 2 of t, alpha 2 dash of t dt. Okay, so see, yeah, so if you restrict alpha on a, we call it as alpha 1, and when we restrict alpha on ab, we call it as alpha 2. So simply I wrote that thing there. Okay, make a screenshot of it, then we will continue. So here I removed this diagram only to make some space available for us. Okay, so remaining part is same. So this is, let us continue. Integration. See, image of AE, image of A under alpha 1, that is nothing but gamma 1. Okay, so this is nothing but, the first integral is nothing but line integral of f over gamma 1 plus, see here we have interval EB, but image of EB under parameterization alpha 2 is gamma 2. So this is nothing but line integral of f over curve gamma 2. So we started with integration of f over gamma 1 and we finish at integration of f over gamma 1 plus integration of f over gamma 2. So in this way we proved this thing. Let us discuss one more property of line integral of vector field, but before that make a screenshot of it. So let us discuss its third property. So third property says when we have a parameterization gamma, okay, and see we have a minus gamma curve, that means we have a same curve but in exactly opposite orientation, exactly in opposite direction. So that means gamma is from this point to this one, and minus gamma which is having exactly opposite direction. Getting? So that means starting point of gamma is ending point of minus gamma, and ending point of gamma is starting point of minus gamma. Then what we have to prove? We have to prove that integration of vector field f over minus gamma is nothing but integration of f over gamma with just minus sign. So this thing we have to prove. So for that purpose, what I'm going to consider, I'm going to consider a alpha defined from closed interval ab to Rn be a parameterization of a gamma. Then obviously, what will be the parameterization of minus gamma? It will be beta from minus b comma minus a. You are getting the difference between these two. This will be the parameterization of minus gamma, and obviously this relation will be between alpha and beta. Beta of t is equal to alpha of minus t. It is possible because there is no much difference between gamma and minus gamma, just orientation is different, okay, having a opposite, exactly opposite direction. So that's why we can write in this way. So after that I am going to prove this one. I will start with left hand side and try to bring right hand side. Okay, so consider integration of f over minus gamma. Okay, so you know the definition of line integral of a vector field. I'm going to follow the same. See, so integration, it is from minus b to minus a, inner product f of beta of t, beta dash of t dt. Okay, so this is equal to see what I'm going to put. I'm going to putting t is equal to minus u. I am putting here t is equal to minus u. You know that when we put anything, our first task is to find its derivative, and after that we have to find its new limits. So let us find derivative. So dt is equal to minus du. Okay, we will find limits, but before that make a screenshot of it, then we will go further. Let us continue. See, limits. Let us find limits now. If what is the lower limit? Minus b, upper limit is minus a. For t is equal to minus b, if I put t is equal to minus b here, minus minus will get cancelled and u is equal to b we will have. For t is equal to minus a, if I put t is equal to minus a here, minus minus will get cancelled, u is equal to a. Therefore, integration of f over minus gamma is equal to our new limits b to a, right? Inner product f of beta of t means minus u, I am putting here minus u, beta dash of minus u, okay, and dt is equal to what? Minus du, minus du. So let me remove this part, it is not required, okay. Let us continue and solve this problem. See, this minus sign will come outside of the integration, get it? But do you know how to remove that minus sign? The technique is very simple. I am going to use the properties of definite integral. That means if you wish to remove this minus sign, simply you need to interchange limits. So therefore, it will be integration a to b inner product f of beta of minus u, comma, beta dash of minus u du. But see, we know that beta of t is equal to alpha of minus t. Getting beta of t is equal to what? Alpha of minus t. That is, that is beta dash of t. Beta dash of t is equal to, or we can say beta of minus u we have. So beta of minus t is equal to alpha of t. Just sign should be opposite. This thing, this care we need to take. Okay. So therefore, if you take derivative, so beta dash of minus t, again there will be derivative of minus sign. So this is minus alpha dash of t. Getting the point? So that minus sign will be there. So let us use this fact and solve this integration. So integration a to b inner product f of beta of minus u, f of beta of minus t, that is alpha of t. So that means this is nothing but alpha of u, right? Beta dash of minus u, beta dash of minus t, so the minus sign will be there. So minus alpha dash of u and du. See, this minus sign is a constant, it's minus 1, so it will come outside the integration. So minus integration a to b inner product f of alpha of u, alpha dash of u du. Actually, variable doesn't matter. If you use t, if you use u, if you use any v, doesn't matter. The value of integration remains same. Okay. So this is nothing but definition of line integral of a vector field. So simply I can write minus integration f over gamma. So the alpha we have used, and the second thing is limits from a to b. So obviously this is line integral of f over gamma. So we started with integration of f over minus gamma, and finally what we got? Minus integration of f over gamma. So in this way we prove this result. Make a screenshot of it. After that we will stop. Thank you. Bye bye.